When loading laundry into an LG washer, the clothes are placed inside, one by one. Now we close the door properly and turn on the power switch. Now I have turned the machine on. The machine is on now. I select the program and choose Easy Care. Then I press the Start Pause button. As you can see, the washing machine has started, and the clothes inside are rotating. After some time, the machine starts showing the IE error on the display. If we look at the meaning of this code, IE stands for inlet error. Now we pause the machine. The machine stops and then we turn it off. Even after turning the machine off, we can still hear the pump sound. The drain pump is still running. Now I will turn off the main switch and unplug the power cable from here. If I am not a technical person, what should I do to increase the chances of fixing the machine? So, the very first thing you should check is the washing machine's water inlet pipe. And here, you can see that the inlet pipe is connected, and it is attached to the wall valve here. Right now, it is in the off position. If the wall valve is turned off for any reason, the machine may display the IE error. Now, I turn this wall valve on. Now, there is a chance that the machine's problem may be solved and your washing machine might start working properly. Now, second, let's look inside. There is a valve installed here, so I will open its cover. I will pull it backward and the cover will open. Now, it has become very easy for me to access this valve. But before opening it, I must turn off the inlet valve. Now, I will loosen this pipe nut to release the pressure. As you can see, I have opened it. For this, we can use a grit plier, a spanner, or any suitable wrench here. So, I have opened this now. Behind this valve, there is a filter. For this, you can use any plier. Hold it with the plier and pull it outward, and it will come out like this. So, clean this filter using any brush and wash it with water. After washing it, also check the hole here. If there is any dirt inside the hole, check further ahead. You will see another mesh there. The dirt cannot go further and get stuck there, so clean it from here as well. After cleaning the filter, simply push it back into place. Now it is inside. Now attach the pipe here again. Hopefully, if this was the cause of the problem, your issue will be fixed. And now I turn the water valve back on. After opening the valve, make sure there is no water leakage from here. If there is any leakage for any reason, secure it properly, turn the valve off, and only then leave it. As you can see, I have placed a cloth inside here. I did this because the back cover of this machine is not installed. If water enters the machine for any reason, it can cause problems, because the motor and other components are inside. If you have already checked the water flow, the water tank, and the water pressure, then we move on to the technical points. So one technical possibility is that the solenoid valve may be damaged or faulty for some reason. There can be several reasons for this. So you can see that this machine has 4 solenoid valves installed. Now we need to identify which solenoid valve is for pre-wash, which one is for the main wash, and how the remaining system works. Checking all of these is very important. If any coil is physically damaged from the outside, it should be replaced. And if it is dirty from the inside, it can be cleaned very easily. So for this, what do we need to do? On top of this, you can see there are screws. Loosen these screws and open it. Then clean the solenoid valve properly from inside and reinstall it. By doing this, the solenoid valve may start working properly again. If the issue still remains even after cleaning, then replace the entire solenoid valve assembly. This can resolve the IE error. If the coils and valves are completely fine, then the problem may be in the PCB. So here we also check the PCB to confirm whether the fault is in the PCB or not. One major cause of the IE error is the water supply system. If the water tank is installed on the roof and the system is working only on gravity, sometimes the water pressure is not sufficient, and this causes the IE error. Because the machine has to fill water within 3 to 5 minutes. If the water does not fill during this time, the machine will show the IE error. Now we need to check whether the valves here are working properly or not. In other words, whether the PCB is supplying power to them or not. To check this, we need a multimeter. Using it, we can test these valves. But before testing them, the most important thing we need to check is the valve rating. What voltage these valves are designed for. If these are 12-volt valves, then we'll check the supply here according to 12 volts. In the same way, if you're checking a different model of machine, you must always verify the valve supply first, whether it operates on DC, on 110-volt AC, or on 220-volt AC. You should confirm this before starting any testing. Here you can see this pipe goes to the main wash, and the second pipe goes to the pre-wash. So, as you can see, this valve is for the pre-wash, and this one is for the main wash. Now I need to check both of these valves to see whether the PCB is supplying power to them or not. For this, I'll select any one program. I'll choose the Easy Care mode and turn the machine on. Now the machine has started working, so I'll first check it during the pre-wash stage. So I'll connect the multimeter to these 2 points. I've set the multimeter to DC voltage, and the machine is turned on. Now, when I check the voltage here, you can see that there is no voltage present at this moment. Now I'll check the second valve. As you can see, there's no voltage here either. So we'll wait for a moment. At this stage, the machine is running the drum. You can see a little water has just come in and the voltage changed here. I thought the pre-wash valve had opened. Now you can see the water has started flowing continuously. So I'll check which valve is receiving voltage. So you can see that at this moment, 5 volts appeared on the main wash valve and then turned off. The voltage changed again. Now you can see 5 volts on the pre-wash valve. So this valve is operating. In the same way, when it switches to the main wash, we'll check the voltage on the main wash valve as well. We'll check them one by one. If there is no voltage present here, it means the issue is with the PCB. The PCB is not turning the voltage on, which is causing the problem. In that case, we'll inspect the PCB. Often the coils may look perfectly fine physically, but there can still be an internal problem. To test this properly, I remove it and completely disconnect it from the main power and the main board. If you test it while it's still connected, you won't get an accurate reading. Now, I'll turn the multimeter on and set it to resistance mode. Next, we'll check the resistance value of both valves by measuring across their 2 terminals. So at this moment, you can see the resistance value here is 25.2 ohms because the coil is in good condition. This is the correct value we should expect. If there's a slight difference in temperature, the resistance value can change a little. That's not a big issue. But if the value drops much lower than 25.2 ohms or becomes very high, it means this DC-operated solenoid valve or solenoid coil is faulty. In that case, we'll need to replace the valve or the coil. Inside the water inlet pipe at the back of the machine, there is also a filter. I'll remove the rubber seal from the top to take it out. If you look underneath here, you can see there's a filter. I'll remove this as well. Dirt and debris often get stuck here, so clean it thoroughly. Doing this alone can often solve the problem. Click on the left or right thumbnail to watch our next videos, and subscribe. Thank you.